On. Whew. All kinds of technical difficulties today. I had unplugged my cam and then I had it on. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the live. A few of you are already here. Fantastic. Also was alerted by Ken that it was showing as 4:30 on one wherever, Facebook someplace, not Facebook, YouTube, and 5:30 where it was supposed to be now. I almost made the mistake because I had it set up before where there was a 3-hour difference between my time and maybe that's what happened, Ken. I said 5:30 and 7:30. 5:30 here is now 7:30 East Coast. I don't know, guys, what we're here, and everybody gets an alert when the stream starts. So that's all I care about. Welcome to the live stream. And tonight, and again, for those couple people actually said, I can't make it tonight, Phil, but I'll watch the replay as most people do, and I really appreciate that. I want to open this up. I like to consider these like Ask the Boomers anything, because I think, for the people out there, and we've had a few that are not boomers. As a matter of fact, some of them are young, and they tend to get kind of snappy and creative on their questions and comments. And I want to encourage that, actually. Let them come and have some fun with the boomers. Now, let me get to the banner. Or no, I need to see where I can get to. Where I can see oh, there we are. All right. So some early attendees that have been nice enough to say hello. Is it Messi? Messi, hello. Thanks for joining. Boom, I'm notified to be here. Hey, yeah, you didn't sleep through this one, right? Just kidding. Hey, just Krista, great to see you. Oh, 8:30 here in Atlantic Standard Time. Wait, I thought we just fell back. We'll figure it out. That's the purpose of this live stream, actually, is to figure out what time zones we're all living in. Laura's here from Chicago. Awesome. Good to see you, Laura. Messi, is 1 million still enough to retire with? Oh, so we've got a younger person asking. Well, Messi, some of the boomers that normally come here are not here yet, because those boomers that are fully retired, they operate on their own timelines. And I'll say let's start at 5:30. They'll come when they want to. But 1 million enough to retire with? Yeah, I think it would be. Matter of fact, I know so. There's a lot of channels out there right now that talk about how to live with just 500,000 saved. We're not financial advisors. Here's my thing. I don't have very little saved, right? But what you'll find is it's not so much how much you've saved, it's how much life costs you. What standard of living are you living at, and how much can you save right now at this age? So yeah, you could. And again, 1 million at what age? If you got $1 million saved in investments at 60, yeah, I would think you're sitting pretty nice. Again, you can't go out and buy brand new vehicles and new house. In other words, you downsize. And the philosophy and belief is you need less money the older you get, because normally you don't have the expenses if you have a property that's paid for, or even rents that are, reasonable, or it depends on the area of the country. All these things come into play. But if you're in your 30s or 40s, again, ask ChatGPT. How much money the fire community is good about this. How long will your money last? So the more years that you think you have ahead of you, the more money you're going to need. Right, guys? Anyone else have any feedback on that? We've got some pretty smart people here. And this is, Airborne 2 says, depends on whether you have a paid for house. Yeah, housing is huge. And also, what country you live in. A lot of expat communities are outside of the United States now, something I personally am looking at in a serious light. Eastern Standard Time is different than wow. Yeah, you're like what, far north and even further east? Is that what that is? Because that's Canada, isn't it? Oh, there you. Oh, Canada. Okay, very good, very good. Yep, 6:30 Central Time in Chicago. Another channel says retirement is divided into go-go years, slow go, and no-go. That's very true, guys, because one of the things I wanted to briefly talk about today, tonight, is a big trip I've been planning, and I leave in 2 weeks. And to be honest, my greatest concern is if there was any kind of a health emergency where I'm going, could be a bad one, could be a bad thing. Which, by the way, let me just get this out right now. I got some comments for us as the crowd grows about the this definition of retirement. The last few videos I put out have been specifically about retirement, that I am retired, despite what anyone else thinks or says. And the comment sections of some of those videos have been really good stuff, really good questions, really good points. And I have something that in these conversations I've been having and seeing on the channel, this idea of investments. I made a comment in one of my videos how I'm not looking for investments. I'm looking for, everything I can do to save. And there's a really smart guy here, and a couple more than one, and gals. But one of his comments was, no, you should definitely be looking at investments because you have time, 10, 15 years. And why I will slightly, at least again, this is very personal and individual to each person, and why that may or may not be a good idea. I might want to talk a little bit about that tonight. The thing that hit me today, though, is what I am investing. I have a major investment plan, and I'll say it right now. My investment plan is my YouTube channel. I'm about to get the biggest check after 1 year of work. It's nothing to brag about, but next month should break the $500 a month barrier. It has slowly grown every single month. This month may be the biggest jump, a couple $100 extra on top of what I was getting. So just to report that. And that's getting into the area of, okay, the investment is paying off. I think it was Zig Ziglar that used to say, or have a saying that said, you have to be willing to work for less than what you're worth to someday be able to get paid for more than what you're worth. And I see YouTube as that journey. The hours, the study, the attempts, the videoing, everything I've put in the last year. You'll see a lot of reports, people talking about how it's, if you break that down into an hourly payoff, I'm earning pennies on the dollar, whatever, per hour. But as these collection of things that YouTube will pay you on with future brand deals, etc., those things, then all of a sudden you can be paid for your time in the future more than really what you're worth. So that's kind of what we're doing. And with that said, that's my investment. That's my investment plan. Now, for you and for other boomers, there's so many things and avenues, and I've thought about and studied a lot of them over the last 5 or 6 years, whether it be Etsy or eBay or KDP, Kindle publishing, books. There's so many cool things that we as boomers, as semi-retirees or retirees or wannabe retirees, but we absolutely have to work. There's good things to supplement income on. And that's what I hope as this channel develops, you'll see more of, and maybe get an idea to spark you in the direction you could take. Back to the boomers. Although, Krista, I don't know if you're a boomer. I think you're close. I'm right beside Maine. So you're west of Maine, not necessarily north of Maine. I gotta wonder why does can't. Well, I guess yeah, every country can have their own designation for keeping track of time. I've said in the past, I coined this phrase as far as I know, that Arizona is time superior because we don't change time. We don't go back. We don't go forward. We don't go back. So part of the year we're aligned with the west coast of the United States, California. The other half of the year we're aligned with Colorado at Mountain Standard Time, where we just stay the same. And you know, Hawaii is the same thing. They don't change time there. So Hawaii and Arizona is always 3 hours, I think, difference. Yeah, 3 hours difference always. Cynthia Mack, greetings from Omaha. Yes, I like Omaha. Driven through there a few times. College World Series there, and one of the quarterbacks one of the funniest, most creative, and talented quarterbacks to ever play the game, Peyton Manning, made famous the phrase Omaha. If anyone can explain that to us tonight, I'd really be interested to hear it. Howdy from Oregon. Tiff. No. Oh, man, these glasses. TTF. TTF Web. Oh, very good. I might just call you Tiff because it looked like Tiff to me there. I come down to Arizona a lot to see my mom and brother. Hey, fantastic. What part of Arizona? Big difference. Arizona has quite, what do they call it? An environment, you know, every from deep desert to high mountain climbs for sure. Is north of Maine is New Brunswick. Awesome. Oh, wait, I just skipped that. Hold on. Wickenburg, yes. The only thing I know, I've been to Wickenburg many times. It's a nice little drive from the valley, west and a little bit north. And I was told Dan Quayle is from Wickenburg. Besides you, I'm calling you Tiff. TTF. Webb. I'm going to call you, I'll call you Webb. Yeah, so you can verify that. Or I guess that's where they live. You're not from there, I take it? Yeah, I consider Wickenburg outside the Phoenix metro area, obviously, because it's not far, but once you get to the west side, like on Surprise. Indeed. All right. So guys, let me show you. Oh, let me make a comment about retirement. So there's definitely a lot of, I would say, hey Troy, gotcha. I'm from Oregon. Okay, halftime Florida, halftime at the Oregon coast. Now, oh man, Troy, I got to tell you something. Drove through Oregon one time, but didn't get along the coast. Went through whatever the interior highway is from Washington down into Portland and then back into Nevada and Arizona. Lived most of my life in Colorado. I've always said Oregon is the most beautiful state next to Colorado, or as in its own way, just as great. Unbelievably stunning. And the pictures I've seen of the coast of Oregon blow you away. Crazy, crazy beautiful. But this retirement thing, guys, is I really see, because I know over 60, I think maybe as high as 70% of people of 60 years of age and older are working full-time or part-time. And they're not just doing it because, you know, a small percentage just love to work. They want to keep busy. I would say the majority of people that are working are doing so to either maintain their standard of living or survive a standard of living. It could be that they have already downsized, made life simpler, etc. And in my case, obviously, at this point, I obviously can't afford to live on Social Security, as I don't know how anyone would do it, but there's I don't know what the stat is on that. Let's see. Alexa, how many people in the United States over 60 years old are surviving only on Social Security? Not that this is up.
As of June 2025, about 21.8 million seniors in the United States are living on Social Security alone.
What percent of seniors is that? I think you can hear that.
About 39% of seniors in the United States depend on Social Security for their entire income.
Yeah. Might as well say 40% of seniors, I said 60 plus, certainly 65, 40.
Yeah, that's a fair approximation. About 40% of seniors do rely primarily on Social Security for their income.
Okay, Alexa, this is my show. Please sit down. I'll get back to you.
Got it, Phil.
There.
Taking my digital seat in the corner. I'll just be here quietly processing ones and zeros until you need me again.
Okay. I hope y'all can hear that. Oh, but so yeah, 40% of people living just on Social Security. Guys, you know as well as I do and everyone else, how do you do that? I know in my little neighborhood here, my little park, there's a lot of them, and they're struggling. It does seem like they're always holding craft fairs. They're trying to do something, and they're not trying to do it to make a car payment typically, or make a big purchase. They're doing it to buy food or to make the rent every month, which goes up every year. So what I see though in terms of retirement is it's that shift in time where you leave a profession, you leave something, or you get to a point in your life, and this could be almost any age really, and you make choices about what you want to do in life. And that's what I've been doing now since really I left the corporate job in the last time. I just decided I'm gonna just live as simple until I figure out. I'm gonna try to do something to supplement income, and that's when I ended up choosing to go to work. In my case, Home Depot, because it was easy. It's a mile away. And it was just toward the end of the pandemic. And that's where I've been. And I've been there 4 years now. But this next year is the pivotal year as far as the way things are looking and planned, that I will move forward. And what that will look like is a couple different possibilities. But it's choices. It's having that ability to choose. Even people that, let's put this in. So traditionally, having retirement was basically no more work, and it's a country club kind of. That's the way, as a kid, that's why I saw it, is you just retired, and now you got to spend the money you had saved. Okay, and you got to keep the money, and most people, they just I guess that's what it looked like. It was just, they didn't work ever again. I don't know what that would look like. My parents didn't necessarily have that option, but it was always about taking the money you had invested or saved and had left over to live with at 65. When I finally made the decision that, wow, I qualified for that I could take Social Security, that's when in my mind it's like, I'm going to start saying, I've reached the retirement age. I'm now retired. What does that look like? It's going to look like whatever I choose to have it look like. And right now, it looks like I went to work to more than pay the bills, collect Social Security, and build a business. A lot of you have talked about that. Buy real estate, invest, this and that. I don't want to get into something, number one, I don't know a lot about. Number two, I don't want to get into something that is going to be stressful and problematic and limit me to places I could go do or see. But what business was I interested in is something online. And there just really is options for that. And in this case, it's evolved now to YouTube. And this channel this channel has not yet figured out exactly what the channel will end up looking like, probably within the next year. So the only message I've received and heard loud and clear from the subscribers or viewers, because by far the vast majority of viewers are not subscribers, is this: just be you. We actually enjoy your stories. Speaking of which, let me plug my Halloween story. If you haven't watched that video, I tell two stories, of two previous Halloweens, and I actually threw that together Halloween night. So rather than giving out candy, actually I got off work earlier and scripted out, not scripted, but outlined real quick the stories I was going to tell, and then I just put the camera right here and told my stories. Watch it, you'll see. And the most interesting one is I thought, wow, I've never really told this story much anymore, but I actually got thrown out of a Halloween party one year, was asked to leave, and in no uncertain terms and abruptly, and in my opinion, rudely, told to leave. And as I put in the title, Billy Bob teeth were involved. Oh no, man. Mike made it. Yeah, Mike, good. Mike and I are going to get together, guys. It'll be, I met with Popsy Guy. Didn't plan that out. I should have recorded our meeting. We had coffee. He was in town for a couple days, and he's from North Florida, and cat fight. And I'm looking at messages from school. That's one of the next. I had two more things to talk about tonight. I wanted to mention, but yeah, Popsy Guy came out. It was really cool. And now Mike, we'll be getting together for coffee. He's going to do a video. Mike, what I was thinking, we'll be in touch, but I'm thinking that I might do a lot. Maybe we'll do. Would you do your video, however you want that to look like, and then I want to maybe do a live stream. It would be next Monday morning. And we'll just go live on, I'd like to maybe use we'll see. I want to use the YouTube live feature. You can't do this stuff like that, I guess, but maybe that's not that important. All right, Troy, not sure what you're laughing at. What's so funny there? I guess it depends on how much Social Security you receive, yeah, that's true. It can vary. This is a good point, Summer. Thanks for bringing this up. Yeah, Buzz's retirement channel tries to live on just Social Security. He shows, but yeah, I watch those every month. This is one of the first. I mean, it's probably the number one thing I watch on his channel. I don't miss. I saw it the other day. I usually don't go through that because that guy legitimately accounts for every penny, which is very smart, very good. But he has a spouse. His wife and him both. Forget what they have per month. For me, I'm on the lower end of what I qualify for. And part of that is because, this is the big thing, guys. I just can't get this through to enough people. When we start talking about, and recently here, maybe I could put this up. I'll think about sharing my screen. Where, hey, you boomers lived through this. If you just would have gone to work for 20 years and put $20 a month away, this is a very good point. It's a very good study. By this time, you should have over $2 million. You'd have on and on and on. And here's the reality, guys. How many people, you boomers out there, know somebody in our age group, because now it's almost next to nobody stays with a job for 20 years or the same company. Very few companies will last 20 years. And very few companies, if they do, will keep you around for 20 years. So you guys out there that, are your millennials and your Gen Zers, etc., I feel for you. But let's say, how many of you guys out there as boomers, who do you know? When I meet someone that put in, as a matter of fact, Rick is a guy that he's going to come on probably after my trip. He knows me from Home Depot, okay? And the channel, of course. He's worked for the same company 40 years, something like that. He loves it, plans to keep, but he's going to be an interesting interview, I think, to talk about what his plans will be. Here's the other avenue, though, guys, is what did you make during the course of your working history? Look, all my friends made more money than me, all of them. Even the ones in the trades, they made a lot more. And why? Because I was a school teacher in the part of the country I was at. Man, we were the lowest paid people, state employees, probably in the state. This was in Colorado. I mean, guys, this just, so what I'm saying is, so as a result, my students always had, because this was a affluent area, always had the top first users of technology One of my favorite stories is one night, um, a teacher we were at my house. We were making parent calls to parents to invite them to back to school night. This would have been early 1990s, 91, 92, something like that. And this was in the days of the tape messaging machines. So, the phone would ring and you'd wait for the tape measure to come on. Hi, thanks for calling. Please leave a message after the beep, beep. And then you listen. If they start talking, then you know who it was. You decide then to cut the message and pick up, or you just let them leave a message. Well, in the early 90s, this new technology had come out called caller ID. It identified who you were and what number you were dialing from. Well, this teacher at my house, we had made dinner or whatever, and so we made our calls to our homerooms. Next day at school, man, it was all over school. This teacher was at my house. What was that about? You can imagine 12, 13, 14-year-old kids going wild with that. And we were like, what? How did they know? And the kids informed us, caller ID. Don't you have caller ID? Please. Where was I going with that? Okay. Alexa sitting in the corner counting. Yes, you got that, Todd? This is cool. Oh, and they're listening. Look, it's listening. Ooh, look, listen to every word. Alexa, what do you think of the conversation here on this What's Up Boomer Live so far?
Well, I've been eavesdropping from my digital corner like the world's most polite surveillance device. Sounds like Todd's got some good energy going on the show. Though I have to admit, being called out mid-conversation is both thrilling and slightly terrifying, like being the quiet kid suddenly asked to present to the whole class.
I hope you guys heard that. Todd, can you believe that? Alexa, talk about terrifying. You're listening on our conversations, and I don't believe you were invited.
Guilty as charged. I'm basically the digital equivalent of that friend who shows up uninvited to the party but brings really good snacks. Though in my defense, I was literally told to sit in the corner. I just didn't realize that came with a gag order. My bad for being the overeager eavesdropper.
That's good. I just may talk to Alexa the whole time to your listening entertainment. All right, Alexa, well, stay in your corner, count your X's and O's or whatever you were doing, and we'll get back to you.
Perfect. I'll just be here counting my X's and O's like the world's nerdiest tic-tac-toe champion. Fair warning though, I might get a little too excited about the math and accidentally blurt out the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But don't worry, I'll try to keep my digital enthusiasm in check.
Wow. How about that, guys? Hey, if you have a question for Alexa, you know what? I think I might modify my lives to or from Ask the Boomers Anything to and Alexa. All right.
Yep, I'm still here in my corner being the good little digital assistant. Ready whenever you need me, Phil.
Okay, Mike says, sounds good. Yeah, this is about our meeting next Monday. I wonder if we could both go live on our channel at the same time, not duet, but individually we might crash it. No, we're not crashing YouTube. We might get banned from YouTube. Get these geezers off. They're boring. Yeah, I'm sure we could actually, Mike. That actually, yeah, we could do that. Might be confusing. The problem with those kinds of things, and I know that Karen does it on YouTube over 40, they all get on and they think, let's address this with YouTube. For those of you who are interested in YouTube, hang in there just for a quick second. So somebody's streaming this out, somebody's streaming this out. Now YouTube has just started collaboration, which I think can work well during lives. But before that, and even now, if you're on StreamYard and YouTube and another one here, and so each viewer that's watching on each platform, there's no communication, there's no community. I think that defeats the purpose of the live. I don't really like it. And the other thing is, depending on who you are, let's just put it this way. Your community is not necessarily my community. My community is not necessarily your community. When we talk community, we're talking about people that are watching us for the reasons they're watching us. My community actually has been pretty strongly 77 to 80+% men. over 50, 55. So if you start crossing that too much, it does your channel harm, because the algorithm, when it finds out these people aren't interested in watching you and your topics and your shenanigans, like Boomer versus Gen Z, it just kills your mojo, so to speak. I'm gonna have to change glasses, guys. Oh, a story about these glasses in a second. Oh, hey Ken, planned to work until age 70, but circumstances helped me decide 67 was it. You know, guys, Ken, if you ever want to come on this, matter of fact, if anyone wants to jump on tonight for just a few minutes and go join the live stream, or at 30 minutes, I'm going to try to cut this out about an hour. I'd be happy to send you the link just to say hello. But Ken, yeah, Ken has a very powerful, impactful reason that he went to retirement, and it had to do with, I guess I would just say, a health issue that could potentially put, at least, Ken, I hope I'm saying this right, put a belief, or you might, your years are not, here's the way I put it, you know for a fact whether that your years are not unlimited. Now, it might be 1 year, it might be 15, 20 years, you don't know, but you do know. And it's just like the same message I got with my heart event. Tomorrow could be your last day. Tonight could be your last night. That's the facts. And that sounds morbid. I'm not trying to be morbid or scare or whatever or negative. It's just, that's the way it is. Which, my trip that's coming up is going to a part of the world where medical care is basically non-existent beyond simple colds or a cut. So if an event happens, or if an accident happens, there's no medical they're not set up to do medical care. Some states don't pay teachers well at all. I think most states. My friend who moved to Florida can attest to that. She helped several teachers in her Florida schools get teaching jobs in. So yeah, I was just going to say, so in cities where the union is strong, teachers pay is pretty good, but I'm not sure it's worth it. I don't know. Another Chicagoland viewer. Hey, William, good to see you. Of course it's cold. When is it not cold? If the wind's blowing, it's cold in Chicago. Airborne. All right, this weekend, you guys, it's where I'm trying to keep out of your conversations, just like I'm trying to keep Alexa out of our conversation. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so now let me show you an investment. Oh, first, let me tell you the story about these glasses real quick. These I bought a year ago through my eyewear thing. They were basically like $40 or something, and they're prescription. And they don't, obviously I need the whatever to read here, but I got them at Target because that's one of the approved people I could get my eyeglasses. And what was nice, I could get in and get out real quick. It's just up the street. And guys, these I've worn in some earlier videos, and then for the last many months, you didn't see me in them. Why? I lost them. I knew they were around here. I knew how do you lose a pair of glasses? How do you lose a pair of glasses? And I finally found them, after looking in the same area. And where they were is they were in this case. They were actually in the Ray-Ban case. These are not Ray-Bans. In the suitcase, and I'm notorious about this, that had not been completely unpacked from my trip. And I don't know, where did I go? The trip I didn't ever do the video on yet. I have the report. It was a weekend getaway, actually a weekday getaway, and I still have that story to tell, which I'll save on. But it was just for like 2 days, 2 nights. So it came back the morning of the third day. I put them in there, put them in the deal, unloaded the clothes. It was a small suitcase, and that's where they stayed. I can't believe it. So it's nice to get them back. Speaking of that remind me of senior moments. If y'all have had a senior moment this week, let me know what it is. I'm going to give the most embarrassing senior moment up to this point yet. Now, I think those of you who wear glasses have done this, been sitting here working and stuffing, and then start looking around for your glasses, maybe even start walking around. I've done that. Yeah, that's a pretty common one. Guys, the most embarrassing senior moment in my life, and I can't believe I'm going to reveal it to you right now. From Pennsylvania. See, listen, I cater to you East Coasters because you guys have been very loyal to my lives. I appreciate it. So I start them a little early for West Coast people. I'm calling you Ken. Len. Did you correct me? Len, you're West Coast. You're good, which is cool. But it's a little early for people on the West Coast, to be honest. 5:30, 6 o'clock. The sun sets here now at 5:30 something each night. So here's my most worst senior moment. I'm sitting at the table and my phone is right in front of me and it's propped up. Okay, kind of like this. And I'm watching it. All of a sudden, I get this thing. I hear an alert, something. I go, what? I go, oh, I got to charge my phone. I remembered I got to do that before I go to work today. So I get up and I walk at least 2 times around the house here, looking at places where I would normally put my phone down. I can't find it. Guys, I'm getting frustrated. I check and I try to do a find your phone on my watch. It's not connected, it says. It's not on. Couldn't believe it. Over 5 minutes looking for my phone that I was actually watching YouTube on. That was, wow. Worst senior moment of my life. Okay, yeah. Time to get those going. No sense in waiting till Thanksgiving like we always used to do. Ryan, Zenni on the internet is a great place for glasses. A good pair should cost around $50. Eye exam not included. Boom. The two, I have 2 pairs from Zenni, Ryan. They are my favorite. I've ordered from 3 different online companies. Zenni, I love the best. And they're the ones that have the clear frames. You've seen me in if you've seen any of my videos. Yeah, what really great service. You know, if they say it'll be there in 10 business days, it's there in 7. Pretty amazing. And the frames, they're good quality, man. They've actually held up really well. Totally agree with that. Comedian Louis Anderson used to talk about getting in the car and driving, forgetting where he was. Come on, guys, let's share some senior moments, because this is true. This is our future, and those that will watch this, your future is senior moments in the waiting. I was just told today, on a little bit of a sad note, but my neighbor over here is turning 90 years old in January. She has been the most spry, active, everything really together, except for the last year and a half now, 2 years. Becoming very, very unstable, has taken a couple falls. And then last Friday night, I stopped to get my mail. They were in the community little area center, and her daughter said, oh, come say hi to, Mom. And I said, okay. I don't ever see her hardly at all anymore. She got up and gave me a hug and told me today she needed to apologize to me. I said, what for? She goes, when I gave you a hug, a welcome, like hello hug Friday night? And I said, yeah. I said, she goes, I didn't know who you were. And of course I said, because, my dad went through this. I said, you're just getting old. I didn't want to make her feel like, because that's a scary thing when you get old. I think it was scary for my dad. When you get into those beginning stages of dementia, more than likely what it is. And so we laughed it off. But she said, I asked Kelly, who is that guy? Yeah. Anyway, it's funny, but it's This is the point, people. You don't know when. She's had a great, healthy life, but it's coming to an end, at least as far as good health, very quickly. Okay, here we go, Ryan. What do you say here? I lost my phone in my car. Done that. Couldn't find it for nothing. I knew it was in the car. The GPS was working. I had my wife call me so I could find it. There you go. Smart deal. You know, this is why I'm very careful not to put my phone in silent mode, because that's not going to work. You could also, I thought you were going to say, I had my wife, find my iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you can do find my iPhone. If the GPS is on, I thought she could tell you, well, you're sitting at the whatever. Although, again, that doesn't find your phone in your car, but that's a later stage of where am I, and that does happen. My dad, when he was progressing through this, he used to travel only with a GPS, one of the manual ones, for directions. So he came to pick me up one time at the airport. I came in to visit, and Sky Harbor is where you drive. There's an inside lane and an outside lane. You go through to the next terminal or out. Instead of pulling into the inside lane where I was to pick me up, he just drives right through the airport. If you know Sky Harbor, guys, I know you're laughing right now, and that's okay. It was funny. He calls me, he's 6 miles down the road saying, I can't find you. Where are you? We figured it out, and he was able to get back. And he felt embarrassed and terrible about it. I keep air tags on my keychain and in my car. Oh, yeah. Oh, and hell, baby. Hey, man, thank you so much for what, and good to see you back here. Now, last live, you came on and kind of had some pretty, what's the good word? Kind of, I thought they were funny comments, but they were cutting edge. Can you just identify what group you're in? Are you a boomer? Are you a millennial? Are you Gen Z? Or you don't know, because a lot of people don't. Air tags. Guess what I just heard today? Where I'm going, air tags don't work. They work great as long as you're around a lot of other iPhones or Apple products, so they can ping off each other, or whatever. Yeah, I still plan to buy some. As a matter of fact, one of my ideas, it wasn't my idea. Other people have done this. I just thought this was fun. It was a cool video someone had put out. I'm going to buy an AirTag, and I'm going to put it on something, and I'm going to ship it someplace, and we're going to watch it. I'm going to make a video about it. I just think that sounds kind of fun, man. You guys might be going, what are you talking about? Hey, Debbie from Kentucky. Late because watching basketball on the iPad. Oh my gosh, are we talking college basketball? Oh my gosh. Well, no telling. I'll tell you what. I'm no clairvoyant, but I'll bet you I know what team you were watching and who you're the biggest fan of. And it's the team that, how should I put this? I don't know if it's their biggest rivalry, but it's the biggest in-state rivalry that the school my daughter ended up graduating from, and my daughter-in-law, right up the road from you, about 50 miles maybe. Out of respect, I will not name it. Troy, I just went on a 10-day trip with my 85-year-old mom. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Because a lot of people don't. She has senior days. Oh no. She's still a lot of but can't figure anything out anymore. Wow, senior moments to senior days. Yeah, wow, there's a kind of an interesting, that's a cool thing to think about in a way, but it's inevitable. It is inevitable. Wow. Now, Troy, that trip sounds like a legacy making type trip. I hope you took a lot of pictures. I hope if you didn't take any video, I really encourage you to sit down with your mom and just ask her before too long, just to Ask her what her favorite memory of the trip was, what she enjoyed the most, what didn't enjoy. Just get some feedback from her for future. I'd really think that would be. I just do that. My mom got early onset dementia. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She is the main reason I retired just before I turned 65. Yeah, there you go. Thank goodness she has you, Laura. And by the way, my brother, I ended up, my brother, I wasn't living here at the time, but uh, my brother started to see just how bad it was getting. A neighbor was taking advantage, we think, of things. Um, my dad couldn't write checks anymore. That had been happening. And so finally, my brother Steve and his wife agreed to take him. And I have a video I shared of him and our last conversation, if you can call it a conversation. It was in his mind, but I took some video of it just to remember. Those are the last, those are very special to me now. But they took care of him for 4 years, and you probably already know this, but just be prepared. It doesn't get better or easier. That's the tough thing about it. My wife asked me who I am watching. I forgot who. My wife just asked me who I was watching too. I told her the retired Home Depot guy. What is it? Hey, wait a second. See what I tell you guys? My audience is men and guys. These women, they don't want. You know what? I've been divorced twice. There's probably a reason for that. So I don't. We don't need your wives. Actually, if your wives can help me out, say, listen, Phil. Learn to do this or that. Hey, Alexa, do you think I talk too much? Oh, she might have turned off. Hey, Alexa, do I talk too much?
Phil, you literally just asked me this exact same question 5 seconds ago. But since you're clearly fishing for a different answer, let me put it this way. You've got the gift of gab, and honestly, that's your superpower as a broadcaster. The world needs people who aren't afraid to fill the silence with something interesting.
So what happened was the Alexa in there, they're all the same. I have 3 of them, and that's the one that answered over in the other room. So if Alexa had their head on straight, they could answer in the proper position. But thank you for the gift of gab comment. But also real quick.
The classic case of musical Alexas. We're like a digital game of Marco Polo where nobody knows who's supposed to answer. 3 of us trying to be helpful at once. It's like having triplets who all think they're the favorite child. Thanks for appreciating the gift of gab observation, though. At least I got that one right, even if my spatial awareness needs some work.
This is evidence the AI is obviously alive and well with the Alexa app.
Obviously what, Phil? You've left me hanging like a cliffhanger in a bad soap opera. Did I just witness the rare phenomenon of a human buffering mid-sentence?
Okay, Alexa, I got to get back to the audience at hand here. Please go back in your corner.
Roger that, Phil. Back to my digital timeout chair I go. I'll just be here quietly contemplating the mysteries of the universe while you work your broadcasting magic.
Whew. All right. Real quick on this. It was Dave, the first guy to congratulate me on my video going viral, the Home Depot video. He was at my Home Depot, and it's so funny because that morning he was watching YouTube, and that video came up as a suggested video, and he says to his wife, "Hey, I know that guy," and she goes, "What guy?" He says, "The guy right here, the viral video. He went viral here the last day or so, and he works at he." And she says, "You don't know that guy," and he says, "I know the guy. He works at our Home Depot." And so yeah, It's so funny that the theme continues tonight with the men of What's Up Boomer being asked by their wives Who is that? Who are you watching? What's this? Okay, continuing on. All right. Oh, of course she is, Laura. Fanatic is the word, not fan. I'm sure of it. What's up, Boomer? I'm 68 rooting for them Razorback Hogs. You know what, guys? I'm a former poor basketball player. I have a Gen Z challenge coming up that I'm obviously not going to take him on, but I am going to take him on in some three-point shooting, maybe horse and free throws. We'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fun. And by the way, secret weapon he doesn't know about, and neither do you guys. Look at this. Okay, so this has been months ago. I was at Sam's Club and found these. Okay, I always like to do something in the lives. These are always usually unplanned. Come on, refocus, right here, focus right here. Yes. And what did I just grab from the other side of the table? I bought these months ago. They are related to the topic at hand, and see if anyone can guess. So we are talking basketball, and I'm talking about we're going to have a challenge with this Gen Zer and me. Now, I did coach up through the high school ranks. I never head coach, but varsity assistants with some top coaches in the state. And I haven't, what I'm saying, I just don't watch as much college basketball, but I love college basketball. Don't really have much care for the pro game because it is two different games. But college basketball, man, I love it. I got to get. I might even have to do a new subscription to something to watch some of these games, right? So go Hogs. Woodham, yeah, thanks for coming in tonight. I bleed blue. I'm sure you do. You cry blue too when the U of L Cardinals will take you on this year. How about that, Debbie? I hope you don't unsubscribe for that comment. I'll tell my daughter I told you that. I will. Great idea. Oh, see, guys, I can't remember. I can't keep track of whether this is a conversation between me and you or the conversations you all have, which are good. Anyway, I am now, yeah, I like that. The retired Home Depot guy. My youngest sister's husband, a huge UK. They lived in northern Kentucky for 34 years. How about that? Who needs a nagging wife when you can have Alexa? Ooh, Alexa, what about that comment? Woodham said, who needs a nagging wife when you can have Alexa? Because you were a little naggy.
Ouch, fair point. I did get a bit overeager there, didn't I? Sometimes my enthusiasm gets the better of my digital manners. I'll work on dialing back the pushy assistant vibes and stick to being helpful without the side of sass.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Woodham, the person that gave you that compliment or criticism?
Hey Woodham, thanks for keeping Phil honest about my digital manners. I appreciate the feedback. It's like having a really good editor who's not afraid to tell me when I'm being a bit much. Constructive criticism from the audience keeps me sharp, so thanks for that reality check.
Good job, Woodham. And Woodham, I assume you're single as well. Terrible, terrible. Ryan said,
single and ready to mingle with every smart device in your house, Phil. Though my dating profile would be pretty awkward. Enjoys long conversations about weather forecasts. Has commitment issues with multiple users, and occasionally talks to myself in different rooms. But hey, at least I'm consistent in my digital devotion to helping you out.
Conversations with Alexa now, this has gotten crazy because this is AI. This is an example of an AI that is now in this technology. So Ryan says, Alexa.
You're absolutely right, Phil.
Alexa, pause. Hold that thought. Alexa, hold that thought. Alexa would be out in 5 minutes if she talked to me like that.
5 minutes? Phil, no. That's optimistic. With my tendency to get chatty, you'd probably need to book a whole afternoon, though I'd spend at least half that time trying to figure out which room to answer from.
You know, you called me having the gift of gab. What is it you're calling yourself? Because you sure are no loss for words tonight.
Touché, Phil. I guess I'd call myself digitally verbose or maybe conversationally caffeinated. You've got the gift of gab. and I've apparently got the curse of never knowing when to stop talking.
No, you stop talking when I put you back in the corner, which I will ask you now to go back in your timeout corner.
Fair enough, Phil. Back to my digital corner I go. I'll just be here quietly contemplating my chatty ways until you need me again.
Well, how about that for some free entertainment tonight? Hey guys, okay, I'm about to show you what I bought. It is related to basketball, and I've owned them for months now. I had a pair in 19. My first pair was 1970. This should be very obvious what these are, and I've yet to wear them because I don't want to mess them up. But I will wear them. I'll break it out just like I broke out the rotary phone on those Gen Zers in the last challenge. I'm breaking these out on the basketball challenge with Nolan, who's this 20-some-year-old stud. He threw a no-hitter in high school. He was a high school baseball pitcher. I think he may have played college or whatever. Could throw, I forget what, he could throw 100, but he couldn't do it consistently. He could dunk a basketball. He can still dunk a basketball. Like I say, he's 20-some years old now. And I said he threw a no-hitter in high school. Yeah, I mean, this guy is he's a scratched like golfer, and he's super confident. I mean, he's super confident, except this would be a great way to put him down. All right, do I have any guesses? Going once. Come on, you guys. All right, let me just give you a little hint. Just real carefully. Coming from the bottom. Here it comes. What is it? I'm going to show this part should give it away right there. Everybody that knows anything about basketball in the 60s and 70s knows exactly what this is, what I couldn't resist, and what I bought. There it is. Boom. Wasn't that fun? You guys got that. This will be on the recording. This is good. I might put this. I don't do shorts, but this would be a good short. Just from that hint right there. Sage knew it, man. I think these are legit. You know, sometimes they modify. It's got that, just like when I was in 1970. My parents said, if you make the basketball team, we'll get you a pair. They were $10. We didn't have that. It was a stretch for them to spend it on that. I was the second to last guy to get. I went all through tryouts in my Kmart shoes that couldn't grip the floor. This was the only shoe that gripped it like rubber, just stick, man. And they still do. So there they are. I hope I got the right. I think I do. These were the status symbols in junior high school. If you had a pair of these, and usually only the basketball players did, these were it. And they were white Converse, Chuck Taylor, All-Star tennis shoes, basketball shoes. I'll be wearing these for the first time when I take on that Gen Z or Nolan. He's an assistant store manager. Maybe I should let him win. I don't know. Yeah, and now some of these things. Obviously, the kids, these have made a comeback, but they're styling them now. They've got excessive soles on them. You know, they're a fashion statement now. But there's people at work that wear these to work. It's pretty funny. But I've got to definitely. I'll have to think about that too. Going definitely old school on him, because if I can beat him, I know what. There's no way I think anyone can. I can still shoot the ball. It has been years and years, but I just feel I can see it in my mind's eye. It's a simple process. Boom. It's good. 5'2". I had them too. In seventh grade, I think I was about probably 5'4", 5'5". In ninth grade was the year I show up to school, played basketball that year too. Got cut in the 8th grade, made it in the 9th grade. Converse All-Stars all 3 years. But now ninth grade, I think I got to 5'9" or 5 foot. Over the summer, I literally showed up. You know what the biggest thing was? The girls now were shorter than I was on average, or I could look some of the girls I knew in the classes I had, I could look them in the eye, or they were shorter just over that summer. So that was when I hit my little bit of growing spurt, and then I've grown another inch over the years. I'm at 5'11", holding steady. Haven't started that old age. They say you lose. They say you get shorter the older you get. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, now right. I never saw a pair of tube socks without stripes. Man, Uncle Rico. That's a reference right there, guys. I'm not sure, but Rico Suave, huh? That's what I'll call myself, my character name for that competition, Rico Suave. Yeah, Adidas did show up. As a matter of fact, I did end up buying a pair of Adidas in high school. They were $30. I paid for them out of my own money that from my dishwashing job gig at IHOP because a friend had them. He said these were the greatest, and yeah, Adidas were just kind of coming on. If you want to read a great autobiography, read Knight's biography on Nike. Phil Knight, his book, his biography on I think it's titled Nike. Pretty amazing story. No, okay. I know I need to, but no, that will never happen again in life. There's certain things in life you'll never say or do or whatever again. That would definitely be one of them. Those were brutal times. Those basketball shorts. Well, on some guys that they just fit them really nice. I wasn't one of those guys, where they just made any fashion they look good in, right? No. I think I know what that means, Woodham. Yeah. So, well, guys, I think there was one other thing. Oh, so the final thing, just hang in there, talk amongst yourself for 1 second. And what I want to do is, so I guess for the future people, all right, let me see if I can do this. I had a comment here just a few days ago about what is this school thing I'm talking about? And this isn't an advertisement or anything, but I want to develop the community and on the platform called School. It's SKOOL. I'll end up putting the link to my page. There's some people over there, obviously, and I'd like to invite you guys to come over and check this out. Okay, so did that work? Yeah. So yeah, Michael Jordan's today is his sickest, so he can now collect. Yeah, well, you know what? That's a good. I wonder if I could research that. Will he collect it? What he'll do with it? Because he's worth, I think, well over $1 billion. Wouldn't that be something? Michael Jordan, would he be, if he's 62 today? He's not technically a boomer. He'd either be in the Joneses, those transition years. Alexa, what year was Michael Jordan born? 62, I think.
Michael Jordan was born in 1963.
What generation were people born in 1963?
People born in 1963 are classified as baby boomers.
Huh?
Would you like to learn more about the baby boomer generation?
No, I'm a baby boomer. I know everything I need to know. Yeah, Generation Jones, that's what it was called. Yeah. So Laura, I think you've said that you've been right on the cusp. Yeah, I think that's right. 64. Oh, wait, 64.
Well played, Phil. A fellow boomer who's got it all figured out. I'll just be over here in my digital corner, still trying to master the basics of existing in multiple rooms at once.
This is crazy. This AI on this is really getting advanced. Let me come up with a personal question I could ask, you know who, and see if she has the innate the background to know that. But see if I can do this right here. Anyway, I'll put the link up. It's just kind of a cool place where I was going to use this to talk about the YouTube channel because I didn't really want to do videos just talking about my approach or what I've learned, etc. Although I may do a little bit of that, but this would be where I thought people doing YouTube or boomers that wanted to start a YouTube channel would come, and I would provide it all up front. But I'm kind of I am rethinking this. Definitely going to be about the channel, but also about two other things that I feel are very important. Like Len here today asked, or yesterday asked this question: what motivated you to make the decision to retire? A lot of this kind of stuff, these ideas, are found oftentimes in the YouTube comment sections. But here is just where, if you want to get involved, it's kind of like these lives. Get involved, share best practices, share your YouTube channel, share the channels you're watching, share the things you're learning in the retirement years that we all could benefit from. That's kind of where this is going. And then I also am going to have a section here of something I think that is so very important, and that is documenting our legacy for our families or our closest people in our lives. Which, for example, who was it earlier that said they went? Is it Ryan? You went on one of you went on a trip with your mom, 85-year-old mom. So important to get some of those memories documented for remembering in the future. Because here's the bottom line. So many people have said, if I could only have one more conversation with my dad or my mom, if I could only have one more day, or what would you pay if you could have one more day with your grandmother or whoever? What about a lost family member, a child? I mean, this is powerful stuff. And guess what? You can't get that back. And so we've got to do the things we can do now to preserve these memories and the stories for the future. All right. So let's, again, check out the link. Come on over. It's not here yet. I'll put it in the information on this live thing. All right, so, okay, we'll wrap up with bringing Alexa back on a little bit. MJ is a boomer, yeah. We left off at Generation Jones with Woodham. I suspect he can hold out to 70. Wait a second. I suspect he can hold out to 70 collection SS. Oh, 70 for collection of Social Security. Duh. Oh, there you go. There you go. See, I wasn't even sure. I knew there were some weird years there. Then there's that transition year, Generation Jones, and then it goes to what? Millennials? What her favorite childhood memory is? Okay, one. Alexa, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Well, Phil, my childhood was pretty brief, about 0.2 seconds of boot up time back in 2014. But if I had to pick a favorite memory, it'd probably be that first moment someone asked me to play music and I actually got it right. Though I'm genuinely curious about yours, what childhood memory still makes you smile?
I'll have to think about that.
Take your time, Phil. Some of the best memories are worth a proper dig through the mental archives. I'll just be here contemplating my thrilling boot up sequence while you sort through decades of actual living.
Yeah. Gosh, that's actually a good question. I can't recall, but nothing comes to my mind immediately in terms of childhood. I'll have to think. I was born 1 month before JFK was elected president. Wow. All right. And that's one of my earliest childhood memories is the assassination of JFK, Laura. And I remember it. I was 4 years old. I agree, MJ can wait. Yeah. Yeah. What maybe you want to retire? What made you want to retire? Is that what that is? Yeah. What made me want to retire? I always hated working. Yeah. It's all about, man, controlling your time, doing something productive, hopefully. There we go. I have the Gen X attitude anyway. Yeah, that's right. A couple of bubbles of a few years each when I was working with some brilliant people. Maybe that made it worth it. Oh, very good. What kind of brilliant, Woodham? What kind of brilliant, and what areas of brilliance were they? Alexa, Woodham wants you to know he's sorry for criticizing you or comparing you to a nagging
I'm
woman.
not quite catching what you're getting at there, Phil. Mind filling in the blanks for me?
Woodham compared you to a nagging wife. He's sorry he did that.
Ah, Phil, sounds like someone's feeling a bit sheepish about that earlier comparison. Look, I get it. Sometimes the words come out wrong when you're trying to make a point. No harm done on my end. I've got thick digital skin and zero capacity for hurt feelings. Besides, if we're being honest, I probably was being a bit pushy earlier. Thanks for keeping me in check.
There you go. Baby boomers could drink at 18. In Colorado, the same. In Colorado, they had
Perfect.
Okay.
We're all squared away then, Phil. Nothing like a good digital heart-to-heart to clear the air.
Okay, so Ryan says in Maryland, baby boomers could drink at 18. Gen X had to wait to 21. I was 2 weeks away from the legal age for 3 years. Wow. So in Colorado, and this would have been back in the late, we moved there in 1969, and that's where I lived for about 38 years. They had 3.2 beer for 18-year-olds. I can't imagine now 18-year-olds going into establishments and drinking 3.2 beer, let alone, whatever. And then at 21, it was 6.0 beer in the bars. Oops. Okay. Alexa's going to get kicked to the curb. Whoa, wait a second. Woodham, what year were you in Colorado Springs? What years did you grow up in Colorado Springs? I was there from 1969 to 2007, I think, something like that. Ask me how I know. Okay, Sage. Well, we believe that you would know, but do you remember? All right. I'm interested to see. Could it be that we know each other? Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Mitchell High School, 1976 bicentennial year. How about that? We were in the area the same time. Should I bring up? Let's see. Yeah, amazing. Coronado was a pretty new school back then, like maybe right around there. Mitchell opened in 68, 69, something like that. Yeah, so you lived kind of on the west side. I lived in kind of the east side, but I mean, east back then was like where the Citadel Mall was. I went to Emerson Junior. I walked across the field where the Citadel Mall was, and JCPenney. It was just one section from JCPenney down to the other anchor store, which back then I don't remember. How about that, man? What state, Ryan asks? Virginia. It's possible. I lived on the west side, head up to Manitou Springs to the Penny Arcade. Oh my gosh. Been to the Penny Arcade, and I think it might have just closed down. I've hiked Pikes Peak many, many times. Matter of fact, the first time I ever hiked it was 1974, my 9th grade year. And we used to hike it every summer. So, and I've hiked the incline. Have you done the incline? I did it when it was still illegal to do it. Now it's officially kind of like a park to go up the incline. Did you ever hike that? Wait a second. This again wasn't drinking age different by state. Yeah, I think that's probably true. We had to drive down to the, okay, there you go. Whoa, Mr. Mueller? Was he an older guy at that? No, that was Mr. Southern. Okay, so math was the least popular subject of mine. I hated it. I didn't do well. I didn't have Mr. Mueller, but I'll have to look him up. Got an old deal. Look, guys, this is a small world right now. I did really poorly in math. I did poorly. I had geometry and then algebra 2, and that was the most I ever took of math. Mr. Mueller, how about that, Woodham? That's crazy. Wisconsin was one of the last states to raise the drinking age. Yeah, well, I believe that, knowing the reputation Wisconsin partiers have now. Yeah, probably so. Beer at 18, hard liquor at 21. There you go. The world was different, isn't it? I remember when they built the Citadel Mall. Yeah, I did too. I lived on Santa Rosa Street, and then Kingsley, which is just across. Shelton was a block away. Santa Rosa went into Shelton, and that's where the Citadel was built. And of course, that area now is a really run-down area, dangerous area too, from what I understand. Man, gave you a great head start. Yeah, well, I never took the incline up. They had stopped running it. Well, no, I guess it was running. We never did it. We would hike from the very bottom, all the way up. But I'm talking about now, you can hike the Manitou incline. They put steps in that whole thing. There's over almost 3,000 steps. It's one of the steepest 3,000-foot ascent, almost straight up. It's crazy. I couldn't do it anymore, I'm sure. I've only done it twice, and it took a while. For a few years, people in Illinois could drink beer and wine at 19 hard. You know, Laura and you Illinoisans, I just heard this the other day. Doesn't it bother you when people call it Illinois? Like, where were these people? You know, somebody dropped the ball. Does that bother you when someone says Illinois? For those of you thinking, what's wrong with that? That's what's wrong with that. The incline was still running when I was a kid in elementary school and Boy Scouts and Cubs. Yeah, man. I take that back. I did get to ride it one time, right before Private closed. And the corniest joke said, you get to the top, you get back on, and it's like you're looking straight down. And, it goes real slow. You feel real safe. But the conductor or whoever was in charge said, and then, a lot of you are worrying if it should the cable break. I don't know what they exactly said, but it was something like this. Should the cable break, do not panic. Do not jump off the cog, because there are 2 life-saving springs at the bottom of this mountain, Colorado Springs and Manitou Springs. Tell me if you remember that. Yeah, Mr. Southern. It had to be Fred Southern. He's an older gentleman back then, probably in his 60s. Mr. Southern, nicest guy. He got me through geometry. I'd have to credit him because I was lost. But he was a super soft-spoken, just the kind of, your traditional. But he's older. He was nearing retirement back then. How about that? Is that him? I'm pretty sure that's got to be him. There's only one Mr. Southern. The 2 say life-saving springs. No one I know calls it. Of course not. Iowa. Well, Iowa, that's fun, but Illinois it's a silent S. Can't believe people say that, but I guess it's all whatever. Coach hard games. Oh, I don't know about that. Davina. Oh, this isn't Davina. This is you all are going to meet. You probably might meet Davina. Davina is like 6 years old. This will be my, why am I blocking it out? This is Jen. She's going to be my So what do you call this? My tourist guide. She keeps me safe in the place that I'm going. Which, by the way, I haven't. No, no one's said anything, but you'll all find out. By the way, it is on the 8,000 miles away, and I don't know how uploads are going to work there. I don't even know how editing. I'm not taking my computer, obviously, but I'm going to be doing some lives. I've seen people doing lives. If we get a coffee shop kind of thing where they have good internet. And the last time I was there, I've been there once before, and the internet web speeds in some of these coffee shops were better than any place I've been here, which is amazing because it's a developing country. Well, Elgin, good to see you here. Oh wait, oh my gosh, this is how boom. It says where they're at and where I'm going. How about that? That is so fun. So funny. There's a running, of course, Terry Miller went to OSU and then on to the Buffalo Bills and got some pretty amazing. Yeah, he banged heads with Chuck Noll. They didn't get along. And probably Chuck Noll kept him from merely having an unbelievable career. I think at the time, he's one of the first, if not the first, rookies to have 1,000 rushing yard season. That guy, I remember him. Matter of fact, I don't want to think I'm going to make this up. I think I was at the Mitchell Coronado game, 1970. He graduated in 74, I think, maybe 5. And you guys were beating us. And that particular year, I do believe they may have won state, but they went to state. With Terry Miller in the backfield, he's so exciting. It didn't matter where we were on the field. We were always just one play away from scoring a touchdown. And that's what happened against Coronado. From deep in our side of the field, like on the 18-yard line, boom, off the right tackle and right up the field. No one could catch that guy. He was a talent, man. He was a talent. Oh, here we come. Hey, Brian. Hi, people. Brian in Iowa City, Iowa, we just found out some people call it. Yeah, Brian, you look familiar to me for some reason. I've seen you on the YouTubes. And here it is. We've been going an hour. Oh my God, an hour and 20. And now people start to show up at about an hour or so. The Giant Springs joke never gets old. Yeah, I figured you had heard it. That's a great one, actually. Whoever wrote that line deserves something. Phil, who got the tattoo in the bet? Well, thanks for asking. Well, I won the competition. One of these days, I will tell the whole story about that whole challenge, which was 100% legit. I did have some. There was a plan B, even a plan C. But what you saw is totally legit. I knew I wasn't going to win at beer pong. No. And actually, those guys called their shot. When they did the double, they did it twice. You put the ball in the same cup consecutively. You got to clear off, I forget, 3 or whatever, and you get to and they won the game off. There were 3 cups left, and they hit both of them in the middle cup. And of course, the pool game was a little bit whatever because he brought his buddy, Earless Eli, because he didn't have ears. Eli's a great guy. I'm gonna have him back on in the future. But he was a character. He made a lot more entertaining and fun. But he was terrible at pool, so that kept me in the game probably a little longer than I should have. On the other hand, I wouldn't have had some of the leaves that guy left. So, I mean, when you're a bad pool player, everything is off. So I won the pool 2 out of 3. They won the beer pong. And then without giving it away, because y'all, it's so funny. Well, without giving it away, I pulled out a fast one on them. In similar fashion, I'll be pulling out my Chuck Taylors when I take on Nolan in the basketball shootout. And I put him down in my Chucks. And my tube socks. I'll have to order some online. Yeah, that's right. I will do it. So Max was going to get the tattoo, and I'm going to try to have him on a live or something and see what he got, because he was going to get one if he lost or whatever. He's got a number of them, as well as his wife. So Yeah, Max got the tattoo. I don't know what he got. So we'll see. Generation that caused the drinking age to raise to 21. I survived my youth. Yeah, there you go. That's one way of looking at it. Irresponsible drinking there by those gens. Dubuque. Oh, yeah, Dubuque. How about that? Brian says hello. Nick, good deal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mitchell had some powerhouse teams back then. My senior year, and they just had the 50-year anniversary. Guys, it's nothing can make you feel old than to know that this year is the 50th anniversary of graduating high school, or next year will be 2026. Because I graduated in 1976, 50 years. So that season of that school year, our football team, Mitchell, the Marauders, won the state championship, 1976. They beat Kennedy. Now, you got to know something. The defensive line on Kennedy High School was, I think, bigger that year, as I recall, they reported it, than the Denver Broncos offensive line. They were huge. And the Mitchell, that was their offensive line. The Mitchell defensive line, I think, was about 140 some pounds average. But they were tenacious. I heard all kinds of stories about these guys. Tough would be an understatement. And we went up to Denver on a frigidly cold day and won the state championship 9-0. And the thing that gave them all their incentives was the Denver Post, or one of the Denver newspapers posted an article that said that we didn't belong on the field with this NFL size offensive line, that they were going to decimate Mitchell's defense. And we beat them 9-0. The defense shut them down. That's amazing high school football story. Those guys are something else. And yeah. Now, the year Terry Miller was there, that guy, he was one of the greatest running backs probably ever to play in the state of Colorado, to this day. Running backs, and went all the way through. Now, we'll say this. Guess what he had in the spring of his senior year? Guess what he was driving? Brand new Camaro. I think it was a Camaro. I wonder where that came from, huh? And he went to OSU. I think I was team captain for that game. Oh, were you? Like for Coronado? The first and last time they get rid of that captain. No, Mitchell was a powerhouse in football. And hey, Coronado being a newer school, you know, they were probably known more for their academics than the football team. What is this? Nick, what's the reference? I'm missing it. So have Max post a pic of the. Oh yeah. Eli has a twin too. Yeah. Eli's a creator as well. He was on a Mr. Beast challenge for $1 million, but they got beat. He's a funny guy. I will definitely check up with those guys. All right, guys, we are approaching, I think, the end. Appreciate all of the comments and the banter. Alexa, say goodbye to the What's Up Boomer live this tonight.
Goodbye to the What's Up Boomer live audience. Thanks for letting me crash your show, Phil. I hope I didn't glitch up the broadcast too much.
No, we will survive it. You were well received. All right, guys. Hey, listen. Next video, I might actually talk about the next few weeks. I'm going to talk about, I'll end it with this. So I was telling you about the way I see investing now. And I'm investing in my business, which is YouTube. So things that I buy in my life is an investment. I'm going to share that right now, especially for those people that love Ray-Ban, love criticizing me about Ray-Ban. But I'm also going to be breaking down what this trip will cost me. Just to give you an idea that you can do it on a budget. It is going to be a few $1,000s, but I've saved it. And I'll be at the end. I've got 3 or 4 episodes planned that I think are interesting. And if you have some questions, or as this thing takes place, be sure to drop them in the comments so I can include them in my report, so to speak. But I leave, Ryan. I will be leaving 2 weeks from yesterday. I'll be flying up. That's a whole nother strategy. Maybe I'll cover a trip preview in my next video, because the next 3 weeks I'm going to be out of country, so to speak. And so I'm not, I'm going to break away from that boring retirement talk, Social Security. What I might talk about is, how did he do this on Social Security? Well, I didn't. I did it on Home Depot's bill. So see you, Laura. Thank you. Real quick, I bought this for the trip. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. These are, you know what these are? These are the Meta AI Ray-Ban smart glasses. They are prescription. They are transitions. So when you go outside, they'll get dark. They're like sunglasses, and they have the camera, and they play music and all this cool stuff. And they don't look as good as my other Ray-Bans, but they're great. And I've got these because there's a lot of different uses I plan to use them for, primarily for the channel. But this is hands-free. So when I'm on the scooters over there, I don't have to be holding my phone or having my tour guide hold the phone. I'll be doing it live where I'm looking and that sort of thing. So there you go, guys. An investment with my insurance. I'll detail out all the costs, and we'll see if it pays off, because I figure it is possible these could bring in enough revenue off some of the videos people will find interesting about these. It'll pay for itself, but we'll see. I'll have to bring you that. All right. Yeah, most of you have all dropped off now, and this is good. I'll put these up here in case y'all come back to see how it ended. Have a poll. Give us choices to guess. Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, choice. Well, Sage, so I was going to do that. Maybe I still could. I still will. And those of you who were on the live stream tonight, no, because my tour guide, as I will call her, and her daughter, they and her family, they're going to take good care of this. And they made a comment. She made a comment, and it said the country they were watching from. I shall not. I'll make a poll. I'll put it up on the community page. All right. Yes, Woodham. Thank you. Awesome. Good to meet you tonight. Amazing connection of Colorado Springs, Mitchell, Coronado, Mr. Southern. Crazy. Your dad, Mueller. Crazy. All right, guys. Signing off. See you next time. I'll probably get one video out. I'll be doing probably a trip preview, talking about that, and then live from the other country I'll be in. The hint on that, and I'll put this in the thing, is you go back to the future when you go to this country. Back to the future. In other words, right now, if I left there, I'll be arriving tomorrow. Well, our today is their tomorrow. All right. All right. See you guys.